separate network, and he said, you know, I was pretty sure it was over. There are limits as well, so I didn't mention it before. There are a $300 limit of a gift if you take it from like what I call a non-official source. So it might be official sources will be like, foreign governments or foreign heads of state, or things they get in their official capacity. A non-official gift is $300, and he said, I have no idea how much this would have cost, but it was made by an artist, sculptor. It's quite a good likeness. It's quite detailed and painted. It is beautifully made. So he was like, it's priced into a value on it.
It is beautifully made, I've got to say that. Now, for the time I've got left, the Prime Minister, I want to ask you about him, Josh. He's received gifts from leaders around the world. I mean, that's not a surprise. Some he's given over, others he's kept. What more can you tell us on that front?
Yeah, so there are rules about what they are allowed to accept. There's a value limit. It was over the 3 hours, the $750 limit, $750 for an official gift from a world leader or that sort of thing, or your ministerial counterpart. If it's over that limit, you have to pay the difference in the cost. So if it's $1,000, you have to pay $250 extra on top of that $750. The Prime Minister, as you say, meets a lot of world leaders, a lot of dignitaries and that sort of thing. They often swap gifts as a goodwill sort of gesture. When he went to the US last year, people might remember, he went and met Joe Biden at the White House, and he was given a whole lot. They exchanged a lot of gifts as like a diplomatic sort of thing.
He got like a turntable, didn't he?
A record turntable.
Record player.
And I've never actually seen a photo of the turntable. I'd love to see it. Apparently it's a custom-made one. It had a commemorative plaque on it. I'm sure it's a gift. I'm sure it says something about the friendship of the US and Australia and that sort of thing.
It's music to our ears or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Albanese obviously are noted music fan, record fan, so they swapped record books and that sort of thing as well.
It appears Joe Biden made his research on that front. We've only got about a minute left, but just an interesting one though, in a sign of the times. Max Chandler-Mather, who we have on this program quite a lot, the Greens Member of Parliament, a rather interesting declaration on his list of liabilities. Right, health debt. Tell us about that.
HECS debt, yeah. So there aren't many politicians. Let's say you have to put any debt. So if you have a mortgage, if you have a personal loan, that sort of thing, you have to put that on there to note that you have a debt. Max Chandler-Mather, I'm not sure if he's the only one, but he's one of, at the most, a very, very small number who've listed their HECS debt. Not many politicians, I think, would still have a HECS debt. Most of them, not all, obviously, but I think most of them would have been at uni for quite a while. Gotten free uni, there you go. I think Albanese might have gotten free uni, but I'm sure other ones would have maybe long paid their debts off, having probably had quite lucrative jobs in the public or private sector after leaving uni.
Yeah, sign of the time, so isn't it? It's been fascinating chatting with you, Josh. Thanks so much for joining us on the program.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Good on you. Thanks a lot. Josh Butler is a political reporter at The Guardian, looking into what politicians have recently declared on that register. Fascinating stuff, but yeah, unusual to see a statue of yourself on there. There was Christmas hams as well, as we just heard there, a record player, all of that sort of stuff. Thanks for your company this morning on ABC News Radio Breakfast. We're back at the same time tomorrow. It's 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Sarah Morris with you after the news. Stick around if you can. The Australian dollar 65.07 US cents. SPI 200 futures down 0.8 at 1% this Thursday morning. To the weather, sunny in Brisbane and 27. 23 now, sunny in Sydney and 23, the top today, currently 20. For Canberra, sunny and 20, 14 now. Showers in Melbourne this morning, they'll be clearing, top of 18, currently 14. Partly cloudy in Hobart and 17, it's also 14 at the moment. In Adelaide, partly cloudy in 22, 16 now. Sunny in Perth and 29, 18 in the west. In Darwin, sunny in 34, 26 now in the top end. Eastern Standard Time is 10 o'clock, it's 9:30 in the centre, and in WA, good morning to you, it's 8 o'clock, time for the latest news.
Good morning, Sarah Hall with ABC News. Police are searching a fresh area of Ballarat today as part of their ongoing search for allegedly murdered woman Samantha Murphy. Lexi Junewick has the details. Police say today's search within an area of Enfield State Park in Ballarat South will focus on trying to locate Samantha Murphy's body. Missing Persons Squad investigators will be joined by a range of specialist units, including the Search and Rescue Squad and the Dog Squad. In a statement, Detective Acting Superintendent Mark Hatt says police are doing everything they can to return Ms Murphy to her family. The 51-year-old has not been seen since February 4th, and 22-year-old Patrick Stevenson has been charged with her alleged murder. Mr Stevenson will face court in August. The Prime Minister says Australia's economy will suffer without significant government intervention to try to attract investment in clean energy and advanced manufacturing projects. In a major speech in Brisbane today, Anthony Albanese will make the case for a new law called the Made in Australia Act, which he argues will attract investment in critical industries. He says he wants Australia to be able to stand on its own 2 feet.
We can't be vulnerable. That is one of the lessons of the global pandemic, is that we do need a more resilient economy. That's about a future made here. It's about using the assets that we have.
The media union has welcomed news that US President Joe Biden will consider a request from Australia to drop the prosecution of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The US has been seeking to extradite the 52-year-old from the UK on criminal charges over the leaking of military records. Overnight, Mr. Biden confirmed the US is considering dropping the prosecution. The president of the MEAA's media section, Karen Percy, says what Mr. Assange did was journalism.
It exposed war crimes, it exposed the behaviour, it shone an important light to the acts of journalism. We get caught up with being a journalist, and we're having this conversation, in other parts as well. Are you a journalist? Are you not a journalist? Is it the act of journalism? So it is an act of journalism.
The peak body representing renters in Victoria says the state is facing a perfect storm with housing supply not keeping up with demand. New data from Domain's rent report for the first 3 months of 2024 shows rental prices for houses had the steepest quarterly gain